Yo guys, this is Amel here back in the studio and welcome back to another remake. I'm sure you guys have already been listening to this song. The song is Someday by Brooks. I'm personally obsessed with it. It combines this whole new style that Brooks is introducing of like very modern sound. It's very clean, it's very dirty all at the same time. Anyway, it's a sick track and it has a lot of crazy kind of production going on. So I tried to recreate it and I think I got pretty close. It's not perfect because Brooks is an insane sound designer, but it's pretty good. So without further ado, let's jump right in and see how I made this project. Alright, so first let's talk about the main elements, which are the leads. This track consists of sort of an A part lead and a B part lead. And really this A part lead is not too complicated. In fact, if you haven't checked out my video, I actually put out a video last week explaining how to create this lead. So let's just look at it one more time and do a little overview. This is a lead. I created it in Serum. It sounds like this. And the cool thing about the sound is once you have this patch here, it's really pretty simple. I literally have like no processing on here. I just have a tiny bit of side chaining, but that's it. The only thing I've added aside from this one lead is this white noise here, and that just helps fill up the stereo field. This first lead is very mono, so just on these couple specific sections, I've added that just to help widen out the lead. So let me play it without that white noise, and then I'll play it with. So just on those specific notes, you can hear it kind of widening up. But that's pretty much it for the first lead. If you want to go ahead and download the preset, go check out last week's video, and I have a link where you can download that for free. Okay, so let's check out lead number 2. Now this is actually also a fairly simple lead. It's a super clean lead, and I actually built it out of 2 layers in Synth. This is the first one, and this is the second. Pretty much both of these leads just consist of a saw wave and a little bit of white noise. I have them separated out slightly. One of them has some chorus and distortion, so they're slightly different, but they're pretty basic leads. The thing that really makes them stand out is a shit ton of distortion. So let me just solo this for a second, and I'm going to play the leads without any processing. Not too different, it just kind of sounds like an init lead. And then let me turn this processing back on. And as you can see here, I have an EQ, distortion, more distortion in Serum Effects, more distortion in Camel Crusher, and then just a little bit of EQ and reverb. So that's really it. It's just kind of an init lead with like a shit ton of distortion. So let me play it without again. And let me play it with effects now. You can just hear that like super distorted sound, and then of course it has the reverb on there too. Okay, so those are both of the leads, and those are really the sounds that the rest of the track revolves around. So let me just jump into a couple chords and basses and show you what that's doing. But essentially all the rest of the track is sort of formed around those leads. So here is the bass for the part A. It sounds like this. It's pretty simple. I think it's just one patch. Yep, it's Serum and it sounds like this. Pretty basic. And then of course a sub down here. Then moving on to the B section, I think it's the same bass here. Yep, same bass. And then I have one more pattern that adds these basses, which sound like this. And there's also some interesting things going on with the chords. As you can see, in part A, there's no chords. It's totally empty. And then in part B, the chords come in and they sound like this. They're pretty basic chords. I have 2 layers in Synth and 1 layer, or sorry, 2 layers in Serum, 1 layer in Synth. And then down here, I just have, I think, 1 more layer in Serum. All of them are pretty basic saws, but they just help fill out the frequencies of that part. The interesting thing about the chords is right here. And let me play this for you. So this is what I call the transition chords, and this is kind of right here with transitions from the A lead to the B lead. And what I have going on, if I turn off the processing on this, by the way, these are just essentially these same chords that I just have bounced out to audio, but I have them routed to, I think it's 37. Yeah, so let me turn off the processing and it sounds like this. You can hear pretty basic saw chords, but I have some interesting processing going on. First, I have a little bit of an EQ. Then I have Serum Effects, which is turning on a flanger as well as a phaser. That gives it sort of that weird vocally sort of sound. Turn it off. Then I have OTT for compression. And then I actually have this plugin. It's really cool. It's called M Auto Pitch. I'm actually automating the formant of the chords. So it sounds like this. You can see I have this little automation clip automating the formant. And then finally, I have Soundgodizer, which is just adding some beef to the sound. So I know those chords are kind of weird, but let me just play them in context so you know what I'm talking about. First, I'm going to turn them off. Sounds pretty empty. And then I turn them back on. So I was able to get it pretty close to what the original has. It's not exact. I wasn't like completely happy with it, but it's close enough. It has that same sort of vocally characteristic to it, and it sounds pretty dope, I think. Of course, like any house beat, it's going to be 4 to the floor, and the thing that really makes it stand out is just these little percussion hits. You can see I have these toms, and just a couple little toms here and there on very specific rhythms. So let me just play it through for you. I have some white noise down here, and then of course hi-hats and stuff come in on the second part. So yeah. That's going to be the full track, guys. If you want to download this project, you can go ahead. I will have a link in the description down below for this. And if you want to get the free preset for this first lead, like I said, go check out that video last week. I'll actually put a link in the description as well, where you can download that. But that's going to be it. I'm going to do one final playthrough. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you back in the next video. Peace.